more buttons over here. When I hit a button earlier, it moved everything down below. So go figure that one, huh? Let's see. All right, hang on a minute. Let me see if I can do it this way. Switcher cloud, we don't want that. How about multi-views? Let's do picture in a picture and see if that works. No, we don't want to do that. Okay, so is it still black? We did, what did you just see? Isn't this a comedy hour? Let me see if I can can you see me now? Okay, we're good? Yay! I don't know what I did, but my stuff is normally at the top and now it's at the bottom. Good Lord. I'm gonna have to go to school. Okay, as long as you can see me, that's all that matters. Thank goodness. Okay, welcome. Glad you all are here. Okay, good enough. Thank God. I'm not touching buttons anymore. See what happens. See what happens. Oh my goodness. I always tell everybody it's a comedy hour here in the Duval household. Oh, welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. It's been a nice sunny day today. I've been quite busy. I got my catalog in the mail and I haven't even had a chance to hardly look at it. I had a team meeting at 3 o'clock and I had to go to I had a doctor's appointment, believe it or not, at 8 o'clock this morning. I was surprised they actually took me. But it was my female doctor, so I guess it worked out. But anyways, I'm going to put my microphone on here in a minute. But yeah, so it's been busy. And so when I took the dog to the mailbox to get the mail, voila, there we were, my catalog. So I'm excited about that. We get to pre-order as demonstrators. And so I am going to be perusing through that in the morning so that I can go ahead and get my order in. I'm going to do a paper and ribbon share and see what is on the pre-order list. We're limited to certain stamp sets and things that we can order and get that in so I can start working on. So I'm sure that within the next, what's today, Tuesday? I would think probably by the end of the week or early next week, y'all will start seeing some samples out on Facebook and Pinterest. So anyways, welcome everyone. Let me just refresh again and see if we got anybody else joining us, but we'll go ahead and get started since it is now 7:07. And I did use the comment picker, so make sure that you all leave comments and share my video. I appreciate it. It helps me reach out to other Facebook crafters that I would love to share my crazy stamping life with. And last week, Linda Carver, I don't know if you're on here yet, Linda. If you are, please message me with your mailing address and I'll send you something in the mail. Mary, yours went out yesterday. I took a whole bunch. I had a pile of stuff and I rode my we have electric bikes. So I rode my electric bike up to the post office area. It's in a shopping center. And had to get one of my stamping bags to put it in, but I had a lot of mail, so it went out yesterday. So you should have it probably maybe by Thursday, I would think. So, but if you share my video and leave comments, then your name will goes into the drawing, and I send out, I don't know, whatever I feel like pulling out of my stamping stash. So you'll get something, and hopefully it's something that you like. So. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to switch you all down to the table. We're going to make 2 cards this evening. Okay, hopefully y'all can see that. We don't want to see me, so let me hang on a minute. I don't want to be in that picture. Let's take me off and put them in. Hang on, that's not working. Hold on a second. All right, hang on. Let me get off. I don't want to be in the picture. I want this to be in the picture. All right, give me a minute. I'm fighting with this thing again. I want to select, take that one off, put that one on. Nope, take that off. Take me off. Okay, we don't want me on both. Now it's showing me in both of them. Oh my God. Hang on. See what happens when I touch buttons? Okay, let's see if we can get over to the stamp table. It's still showing me and I don't like that. So we don't want to do multi-views. All right, guys, hang on a minute. Hi, Yvonne. How are you? We're playing games on my iPad here. I'm trying to figure out how to get my screen on. I pushed a couple of buttons, which was probably the wrong mistake. I shouldn't have done that, that's for sure. So give me a minute. I have different positions I can hit the camera, and I'm trying to get the one on that has the stamp table, and I see it on my end. Oh, wait, let me flip this. See if that works. Preview. All right, I don't want to see my, can y'all see the table now? Let me get back to my comments here. All right, we're loading comments. Give me a minute. I know, I'm a goofball. All right, we're loading. Tell me if you can see my stamp table. Well, hello, Karen from Australia. You get to join the fun madness too here in Florida. All right, there's about a 15-second delay. So just if somebody will let me know if you can see the card and stamp set on my craft table. I've played with the pictures and got them all messed up. Okay, so we can see them? Okay, perfect, good. All right, now we can get started. Thank you, everyone. We are going to work with, we're going to do 2 cards tonight and 2 different, one different fun fold and the other one's just a different way we're going to cut the paper. Just nothing, it's just a little, not anything dramatic, but it does make a nice little set to look at. So we're going to use the Good Morning Magnolia. I thought this was retiring, but when I looked at the catalog, I mean the retiring list, you have to really look at the asterisks because it's retiring as a bundle, but the stamp sets will be available and the dies will be available, but the only difference is that you will not be able to purchase them with a, at a discount as a bundle. So make sure when you're looking at those retired lists that you do check the asterisks next to it because it may say something's retiring, it's really not. So I was freaking out thinking, oh my gosh, I love this stamp set. So this is what we're going to make today. And this is a really cute card. Let me bring it up to the table. And this is what I copied this from, oh my gosh, give me a second, Lisa Curcio, and she's in Florida as well. And it's like a book binder. So this is, we seal this section down that has the bow on it and it kind of opens up like a book. So I just thought that was a unique fold. And it's not anything difficult to do. But again, it's something different and that's what I like to do. Very simple and different. So this is an easy card. This is not going to take very long at all. So this is what we're going to do this evening. And then we're going to do another stamp, another card using the Music from the Heart. That one I do believe is retiring. And I'm a little upset about that because I just absolutely adore that set. I think it's gorgeous. But anyways, okay. So let us get started. Now I have pre-punched and done some of the stuff so we don't spend all night here because I know one night we were here forever. But let me get my trimmer, my scoring and cutting tool out because we do need this. And if you all don't have a demonstrator, I would love to earn your business. And if you want to place an order, this is my code for the month of May. It's 6XW4, S as in Sam, 6SS. Looks like a car, Okay, so we're going to start with a Petal Pink, which is the 4 1/4 by 11. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to score. Obviously, our first score is going to be at 5 1/2 because that's the half of 11, right? So we get our middle point of our card. So I'm going to go ahead and score that. And then we're going to slide this down to 4 inches. All right, so we're going to score this at 4 inches. And then what that is going to do is it's going to make our little book bind. All right, so that's all we need to do. All right, so again, it's 4 1/4 by 11. We're going to score it at 5 1/2 and then at 4. So we'll go ahead and fold this over. Now, do you all have a preference? Do you fold it in where it's scored as far as like the valley, or do you fold it as a mountain? What do y'all do? I fold mine depending on whichever way gets me closest to the edge here. So that's what I do. All right, so we're going to use our bone folder and burnish that. Now, this is where we did the 4 inch. So this is like 1.5 inches out from, right? So we scored at 5 1/2 and this is at 4. So this is 1.5 inches right here. So I'm going to go ahead and score. I'm just going to pull this back and burnish it. And then that's where we're going to attach our ribbon right here. And then this part's going to get sealed shut. Oops, let me turn it down so y'all see it. Okay? All right, so that's very simple, very easy card. So we're going to start with a piece of the Magnolia. I think it's Magnolia Lane. And this is 3 3/4 by 4 inches. So make sure when you attach this, because every time I put my glue, I always want to stick it this way, and then I realize that it doesn't fit. So I'm going to use my favorite green glue, And I know some of you are new here, but most everybody that comes on knows I don't like this glue because I don't like it getting on my fingers, but I love it because I go through a lot of snail. So this makes it a little bit easier. All right, so 3 3/4 by 4. So we're going to just attach that right here. And again, like I said, this is going to be a very easy card, but it's going to look nice. It's just, you know, I really like some of the different folds. Just makes things a lot nicer. And this one now I didn't cut, so we do need to cut this down to 4 inches. So let me bring the trimmer back in. Are any of you all demonstrators that are on? If you are, welcome, and let me know. But as I mentioned, I got the catalog this afternoon, or I should say late afternoon. Haven't had a chance to view it yet. But believe me, tomorrow morning that will be what I do first thing with my coffee. All right, so this piece of designer series paper is cut at 1 1/4 by 4 inches. And I'm just attaching some of the adhesive on the back of that. And then we're going to attach that. I think I'm going to turn it this way. I'm going to attach that right here in between the score line and try to line it up as best I can. All right, so make sure that it's even. All right, so that's so far so good. All right, so that's our card base, and again, it's going to open like that. Now, the next thing I did is I went ahead and I stamped and cut out the small magnolia and ran it through the big shot with the die, okay? And I'm just going to take my markers real quick. It's not going to be anything, won't take long. I'm using Mossy Meadow combo and Petal Pink combo. And I'm just going to go in and just make some marks for my leaves and try to do what the artist, how they create the lines. I just copy what they've done. It makes it a lot easier. We don't have to go out and reinvent the wheel since they basically have done our work for us. So I'm just going to color in with the lighter Mossy Meadow and just enough to get the leaves so it kind of coordinates with the paper. And you know, this flower set, if you don't have it, you know, this can be, even though it's a magnolia, I've seen people coloring this with all sorts of other colors. And it's really beautiful when you look at the other colors. All right, now I'm going to take the dark petal pink. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to take the dark petal pink and I'm going to, make sure. And again, let me pull this up. These lines right here are what the artist does, right? So I'm just going to take my marker and make mark the dark blend, stamp and blend on that just to give it some definition. And then I'll come back with the light and color over it. And I'm not going to put a lot of color on these because they don't really need a lot of color. And then I'm going to come back in with my pink. And I think this one I've used up so much that I've had to order another one. Now, one thing about the blends, they are staying in the catalog, even though it mentioned they were retiring. But the only reason it says that is they will no longer offer these as individuals. You'll have to purchase them as a combo package. So the individual ones will not, you know what, I didn't want to color it all the way in. So, but you know what, that's what I did. So that's where we're going. I didn't mean to do all that. Okay, see what happens when I talk? But that's right, we're going to leave it like that. We'll see how it goes. So I'll come back in and make these a little bit darker. So they're not retiring, but they are retiring the package of singles. So these will still be available. And they have new colors coming out in our new in colors. So that's exciting. And our new in colors look really nice. I'm excited to get those. All right, I didn't really mean to color the flower in all the way. I was going to leave it white like I did my other one. But that's all right. We're going to go with this one. Go with the flow. Okay. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our petal pink, what is this called? Our organdy striped ribbon. And we're going to tie a bow. So what I do to measure is I take whatever the width is that I want to tie my bow on. And if I want a bow, I'm going to wrap this 4 times. If I just want to do like a knot, then I just do 3. So I've got 2, 3, and then this will be 4. Pardon me, I'm going to cough. Pardon me. So 4 times if you want to do a bow, and 3 if you just want the knot. And it just helps save on your ribbon so you don't waste. I'm real, good about, I don't like wasting stuff. So we're just going to tie the bow on here. So let me get this done. And of course, I'm sometimes become thumbs here. Do you all, since we're all in this lockdown mode, and I think most of us are, Do you all wake up every day with a different hairstyle since we can't get our hair cut? Do you? I swear I wake up and take a shower and dry my hair, and every day it looks different, and I laugh. I'm like, oh my gosh, if we ever get back to be able to get our hair and our nails done. I have cut my nails down and cut them down, and to the point there, as you can see, I'm talking because I'm all thumbs here. I'm trying to hold it tight and do this. I need a third hand. Hang on a minute. See, we're all just alike. Some people are really good at tying bows. Me, not so much. There we go. Let me hold that on there with my thumb. But I can get it. When I used to do my face-to-face classes, I have being that we live in a over 55 community, I had quite a few ladies that, because of their arthritis or whatever, they couldn't tie their bows. So I had to tie their bows, and they thought I tied the best bows. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, are you crazy? I don't tie the best bows. All right, so we're going to pull the tails in and make it a little bit smaller. Just hold the knot down in the center. You can either squeeze it. Let me turn the card around. You can either squeeze it with your hands and pull it. Of course, for whatever reason, my tails always go the opposite direction of where I want them to go. So let's pull this one down a little bit, and then I'm going to tighten them up, and we'll get this guy going. So anyways, but those of you that are able to tie bows very quickly, more power. I'm so glad that somebody can do it because I sure can't. Okay, I think we're going to leave it at that. Let's just trim this little guy down. I know it's going to hang off, but I'm going to move it over just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to slide this over. Now the next thing we're going to do, let me slide this over a little bit more. All right, you're just getting positioned where you want. You can always put a glue dot right there if you don't want it moving around. So now I'm going to open up the card, and you can use snail or you can use tear tape. Let's do tear tape. Why not? And this is going to seal it down so it doesn't come open. And I'm just going to put a little bit of tear tape on each side of the ribbon. Pardon me again. And then we'll peel this up, and then we'll shut the card. And then that way we know it's going to stay down and it won't come up. All right, so we've got that down there. Do you all like this? I call it the pokey tool, but what is it called? Take your pick. I love this thing. I've had it for like a year or whenever it came out. I've just started using it, and I absolutely love it. So here we go. We're going to take this paper right on off of there, the tape of the backing, and we'll get that down in there and pull it up. Look at that. Pulls it right on up. So you don't even have to, whoops, I spoke too soon, didn't I? All right, let's try that again. We're going to pull it up. There we go. All right, so I really do like the pokey tool. So now that I have it on there, I'm just going to make sure that I get my ribbon where I want it before I close this. So I'm going to move it over just a little bit. I want it to be a little bit more centered. And this piece right here, I'm just going to move it just a tad. There we go. All right, and then all we're going to do is shut the card and just push that down. All right, so now we have our card made, and it opens like that. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is I am going to cut, let's see what we're going to do here. Yeah, let me go ahead and, let me see if this fits. Let me cut a piece of white for the inside of the card. And the white for the inside of the card is going to be the same 3 3/4, which that is by 4. So we're just going to cut this down to 4 inches. So we'll go ahead and cut that and pull this up and get this out of the way. Okay. So, as I mentioned, this is a really easy card, but I like easy. It's simple. Okay, so we'll go ahead and let me go ahead and stamp this, and then we'll put the rest of this together. I'm going to use the Memento Black ink. I got to find it first. And we're going to use the sentiment out of the stamp set that says, not only for what you do, but for being someone so special. And that's going to be the inside of our sentiment. So we're going to get some ink on here. Now, if y'all aren't aware, the Memento ink is on back order. So if you don't have any, I think it should be in sometime. Oh, Lord, that's crooked. Let's try that again. Good thing we have 2-sided paper. Let me get my head in here and make sure it's straight. I put it at an angle so it helps us, forces us to make sure it goes on straight, right? All right, there we go. That's a little bit better. And we'll move that out of the way. And we'll go ahead and attach this to the inside of the card. And we'll add it with our favorite glue. Okay. And we'll pop that right on in there. And then we'll do the front of the card and then we will be done. Hopefully this black ink is not going to show through. If it does, then I will have to put another piece on here. But in the meantime, I think we're good. By the time you write something. All right, so there's the inside of our card. Now let's do our front part, and I am going to take the stamps that says thinking of you, and we're going to stamp that. Let me just refresh my things here and get some black ink on here, and then we're going to stamp thinking of you, and just push that down a little bit, and then we're going to use the Label Me Lovely punch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch this in here, but I'm going to put it a little bit towards the bottom. And I want to make sure it gets straight. So bear with me. I know it's upside down, but I'm trying to look at it. Actually, I better turn it this way. You know, when you have that cursive writing, it makes it look really crooked. Okay, so we're going to punch this, and then we're going to attach our Magnolia that we punched out onto the top of this card. So let's move that over. And let's go ahead and add that. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on this part. So I'm going to attach him to the this part of the card here. I think I'll lay him about like that. And I didn't color his stem. Let me do that real quick. I forgot to color his stem. We don't want any white spots, so let's just throw that on there. Get him colored in. All right, perfect. Okay, now we can add that to the card, and then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back, and we'll pop this up. Now, if you all have any kind of a different style card that you would like me to make, or fun fold or what have you, let me know. I'll be more than happy to research it and see if it's something that I can do. I'd be more than happy to do that. Hi, Diana. How are you? My friend in Arizona. Oh, hey, Faye from Virginia. Nice to see you here. Faye just became a demonstrator. She's up in Virginia. So there's some perks to being a demonstrator, and one of those is getting that daggone catalog early. Plus, we get discounts on our purchases. It's a lot of fun. And you meet a lot of great people and make a lot of great friends. I have met people. I've been doing this now, what are we, 11? So, oh my, I just passed 9 years. And I've met so many people from when I first started that I'm still very good customer-wise, that I still stay in touch with. So that's, it's really just a fun thing to do. All right, so we're just going to attach that to the center of our card. And there you go. Isn't that a really pretty card? Easy way to make a card that looks a little bit different. Isn't that nice? So for those that are just joining, the measurements, I'm using Petal Pink. It's 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And you're going to score it at 5 1/2, which is your middle part, and then score it at 4. So you'll score 4 and 5 1/2. And then your designer paper on the front is 3 3/4 by 4. And then this piece here is 1 1/4 by 4. And then just attach them. And then you'll add your adhesive to the back and hold that down. But isn't that pretty? It's just another, it's like a book, you know. Kind of gives me a thought. Maybe we could put a couple of these together and make it look like a book. So there's our first card that we're going to make using the Good Morning Magnolia, which is carrying over, but it's, if you like this and you don't have it and you want to get the dies, you might want to do it now because you get it as a bundle and save 10%. All right, so that's this card that we're doing. So we're going to move this one aside. So that's number 1. Now give me 1 minute. Let me clean my stamp off. And Linda Carver, I don't know if you heard, but your name was picked through the comment picker, random comment picker. So if you will send me your mailing address, I'll send you something in the mail, a little prize. Thank you for sharing. So please share my videos. I would greatly appreciate that. Okay, so next one we're going to do, let me move my stamps out of the way and get my other stuff. We are going to be working on the Music from the Heart. And if any of you all love music, you got to have the stamp set. This one, unfortunately, is not being carried over from what I can see. And this was designed by one of our $1 million sales achievers, and that was it's Dawn Olszewski. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's Do Stamping with Dawn, I think is what her thing is. So let me put these over here. We don't need those. But let me show you the card that we're going to make. I saw this on Pinterest. And for most of, if you guys don't know me, I am not I cannot create my own cards. I will be honest. I said that from day one. I am not creative, but I know how to copy well. And I am not going to reinvent the wheel. If somebody else has done it, why should I reinvent it? So this is the card that we're going to make. Isn't this gorgeous? I absolutely love the colors. Now, I did have a little boo-boo, and I'll show you, because these things are retired. But I had a little ink on here, so I had to cover it up, and that was the only way I could figure out how to cover it up. So there you go. But this is the card that we're going to be making. So can you see that? Those two little dots will not be there on the card we're making. All right, hopefully I don't make a mistake this time. All right, so this one is what we're going to make. So we're going to set that over there. I'm going to use a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock for my card base. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that. And this is 5.5 by 8.5. And it's scored at 4 1/4. So we'll go ahead and burnish that with our bone folder. And I'm just going to set this off to the side. I'm not going to do anything with that until we're ready to put it together. Then I'm using a piece of terracotta tile, which is 4 by 5 1/4. So it's 4 inches this way and 5 1/4 this way. And then we're using a piece of Whisper White that I've cut at, I think it's 3 3/4 by 5, which it should be. And then this is really, we're not using this whole thing. We're going to cut it down. And I think I made a mark on one of these so I know how to cut it. And all I did was, yeah, this one. We'll use this one. Is I just laid it on the card. And I wanted to show, I just wanted to show what of the music things, I just wanted to show like part of them. So I just kind of made a mark of where I wanted this to go on my cardstock, and then down here, and then I'll just cut it on the cutter. That's what I did. There wasn't no rocket science to this whatsoever. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So the first thing is I'm actually going to do, and then we're going to use the second largest stitch shape framelit circle dies. And I went ahead and cut that out. Okay. So you actually are going to get to see me stamp for a change, which I hardly ever do. Very rare, I think. I think I pretty much usually have most of it done. So I'm pulling out all my tools. We're going to use the lines for our notes. We're going to make our own music sheet. And if any of you are music majors, I don't know what I used to play a clarinet. This is, did you know? I did several things that people don't realize what I've done. I played the clarinet when I was in high school. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed band. It was really, I was in band and I was on, yeah, I just loved it. I mean, it was very disciplined, which I think our kids, I don't have children, but I think our kids nowadays need some discipline in their life. But I'm just putting notes on there just to let you know that I'm not making any kind of a song. If it does come out to something, I don't know what it is. So all I'm doing now, I'm not going to stamp the whole piece of white because I know that some of it's going to be covered up, but I'm going to go down far enough that I think it will be covered. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm putting some black memento ink on the on my grid, if you will, for my stamping. And I'm going to stand up for just a little bit so I can make sure I get this on here straight. Make sure I'm in the camera. So I'm just going to lay this down. I'm going to leave a little bit of an edge at the top so it looks like we are in line. And I'm just going to push it down and it's going to go off the page, which is fine. So I just let that sit for a minute and get to see. Oh, thank you. You all are so nice. And thank you guys for joining me on a Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And it's probably, what, 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the West Coast. And some people are probably having dinner now. And then I'm just going to do a couple of these. I'm going to leave a little bit more space between the lines. Because, you know, on music paper, you have a little bit of space there, right? So the notes can kind of come down. That doesn't look like. This might be a little bit too close, but that's okay. It's not going to be, you know, we're not going for perfection here. We're just going because it's fun. All right, so we'll stamp this one down, and I'll just do one more. And even if it's hidden, it's okay. Because we want to make sure we get enough. And you can hear me tapping. It's only because I think I need to re-ink my memento. All right, so we'll put another graph, little lines right there. And did you know, I think that this stamp right here, you could use it to make a road or something like that. Or I don't know, you can use to make all sorts of different things, I think. All right, so there we got our base to our music sheet. Now we're going to come back and we're going to start stamping some music. And whatever you desire, it's whatever your heart desires. You do what you want. There's no right or wrong reason on doing this. So I'm just going to place some notes down. All right, I got him. Now I do want to come in with this guy because I want to get him positioned and then I can set everybody. I think this is called a treble clef, right? I'm just going to set this down and make sure that we've got it positioned, and then that way we can move on and not be, I can get my other notes on here. So let me make sure I get some ink, and I'm going to put this little tail right, I'm going to have it hanging on this line here, and I'm going to move it just about like that. And then we're going to color that hard in. I am also using the Stampin' marker, the Stampin' Right marker, Blushing Bride, which is this piece of cardstock we're using to do the slanted cut. All right, so we're not going to use him anymore. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and just start doing our notes. So whatever your heart desires, you just go ahead and add them on there. And again, I got to stand up because I can't see if I'm going to be on the line or not. And I want to make sure my notes are in order on the lines, because if you turn them at an angle, see, you can get them on the lines. All right, so we're going to do that. Let's come back and do a couple of small ones. Let's do, I don't know, put one here, and then we'll do, I'm just going to try to do it like I did the other one. We'll put one down here. And I know these have different terminologies, but honestly, it's been, I'll be 62 next month, so it's been 40-some years since I've been out of school, so, and I played clarinet. So, all right, so we are going to go ahead, let me just add some more notes, and let me just do that. And we'll just try to make it look like we know what we're doing here. Just add some other notes, and then we'll put some more down here. Let's see. We'll put one here, get those together, and then we'll add some others. Whoops, let me get some ink on here. And we'll go down low, and then we'll come up a little bit higher. Maybe we'll come up a little bit higher. So we might be able to see that one when we, after, whoops, we get some more ink. And I'll probably do the last one just to be on the safe side. Because you never know, we might cut it a little bit differently. So let's put this guy here, and let's do two of those. Like I don't know, we'll just do it that way. And I'm pretty confident this is not going to show, but we're just putting it on here anyways. Okay, so that's good for now. That's all we're going to do with that. All right, now before I put my glue away, I mean my black memento ink away, let me move these and put these out of the way, and then I'm going to stamp my piano. We're going to stamp the piano on the circle die. And again, it was the second from the largest circle shapes, the stitch circle shapes. And we're just going to stamp him on here. And then we're going to color this little guy in. I really like the colors on this. So we'll let that sit for just a second. And I'll move this out of the way because I tend to get ink on me. All right, so we're going to do some coloring there. Move this out of the way. Okay, so there's our sheet of music. So we could always sign the bottom and make it look like we know what we're doing, right? All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and attach this. Now what I'm going to do, because I did cut it a little bit shorter there, before I attach it, now I made a little mark. I don't know if y'all can see this. Right here, where my thumb is, and I made a mark right here. This is where I tentatively want to cut it. Because I want to be able, and I think what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and cut it, because I lined it up and tried to look at where the marks were on here, and then I can adjust the paper accordingly. So I'm not going to tack that down. So I'm going to get my paper trimmer out, and most of you probably know how to do this. You just want to take your paper and where you marked it, I'm going to lay that on the trimmer, right there on the trimmer blade, and then I'm just going to hold that one there and turn it till I get to my mark right there. That way I can cut it, and it's going to give me that angle look, okay? So I think we're good. And if it's not, you know, we're going to live with it. So there we go. We have our two pieces, which this one we don't need, but we could save that for another card. So we could save this for another card and, you know, have another one. So this one's going to be a little bit shorter, which is fine. I want it to come down lower so that way you can see most of the notes. Now see, some of those we can't, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this up and attach this so it leaves me my border up here, because we're not going to see this down here, right? So let's go ahead and add our liquid glue. Are y'all ready to get over this? I mean, I know everybody's probably tired of being in the house. We just opened in Florida. They just allowed yesterday. Some of the restaurants can open with 25% capacity. I don't think my husband and I are, you know, we're in an over 55 community, and you would think we are at high risk. And I mean, most of these people, but you know, a lot of them are like, they're going, they're tired of sitting around the house. And this is an active golfing community, so these people are not sitting around. You see people out walking and riding bikes and doing all sorts of stuff. So it's just pretty wild. So to have us being locked up and not be able to get out and do things, it's pretty wild. Okay, so I've got it bordered for the most part. It's a little off, but I'm not too worried. And I'm going to lay this down here, and then that way I can adjust how I want my pink to go. And if I want it more notes to show, I can cut this, but I'm going to leave it the way it is. So we're going to go ahead and add this and just put our glue on here. And I don't want to put a whole lot because I don't want it to ooze out. So we'll go ahead and attach that. I know one thing I do wish that we can hopefully get sometime soon is the daggone nail places. I swear, whew, I need to get my nails done. They're looking pretty pitiful. And I'm not painting them. I'm not doing anything. I'm just trying to keep them where you can't see them. All right, so we've got that part on there. So far, so good, right? So now we're going to take our little circle here, and I'm going to bring in my Calypso Coral. Since we don't have terracotta tile in the Stampin' Blends, Calypso Coral goes so well with everything. So I'm going to color the piano, and I'm going to do that in the dark Calypso Coral. So let me see if I can. I'm afraid if I touch anything, I'm going to booger up stuff, but I was going to try to zoom in, but hopefully y'all can see this. I'm going to use the small end of the Calypso Coral Dark, because I'm going to outline or inside line. I'm going to outline it on the inside so I don't go out of the lines, and stop right there, because that's where the heart is. I thought this was such a good idea. And then I'm just going to color this. I'll tell you, I've used let me just show you my end. I've used this Calypso Coral so bad. Can you see my tip? Let me see if I get over here. Down, come down, Dawn. Look at that. Can y'all see that? This guy is so, he doesn't even hardly work anymore. He's been squished. He's been squished so much. So I'm using the little point. Okay. So we're just going to color this in. And I just do swirls. You know, there's no right or wrong way. You can color whatever you're comfortable with. You know, when you start to highlight, some people start with the dark, some people start with the light. It's whatever you want to do, you know, and some people are more colorers than others. I know when I was growing up, my mom and I used to have coloring contests with coloring books and to see who could stay in the lines. Well, obviously, most of the time it wasn't me, because imagine that, my mother. But we had fun. We used to lay on the floor in the living room coloring, and that was pretty good. I don't have too many good childhood memories, but I do remember that. I do remember coloring in coloring books and having contests. That's just what we did, and it was fun. So, whoops, I went out of the line a little bit. Oh well, we're just gonna let it go. I didn't bring the lifter over. And then I'm gonna go ahead and color the rest of it. So let me just do that, and then we'll put our card together, and then we will be done. I just think this is such a cute, a really cute card. I really like the colors that they used. Again, I copied this off of Pinterest, and I want to say the girl's name, I don't know if she's from the U.S. I think she might be. Carrie was her first name, and I want to say, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. But anyways, I'm just going to go back because I want to get just a little bit darker color on my light. This is the light Calypso Coral. See, and then using these blends, don't you love how it makes it look like we know what we're doing? Don't you just love that? Makes it look like we're professionals. Don't you think? All right, I think that's good. color this one a little bit more. There we go. Now, if I brought my lifter, we have a color lifter. I could have lifted that up off of the off my leg right there, but I'm not going to worry about it because I don't think whoever looks at this is going to even notice that there's a little bit of ink on the thing. So, all right, let's put our card together, and then we will finish up with our sentiment. You get my bone folder, and again, this is the thick whisper white. That's 5.5 by 8.5. Okay, so we've got that, and let's go ahead and, well, before I do that, we got one more thing to stamp. We got to put our happy birthday on here. I've been sending out happy mail to people. If you're not on my newsletter and if you're interested and would like to join it, you may be on somebody else's, and that's fine. But I send a weekly newsletter out with tutorials that are free, that are exclusive to my mailing list subscribers, and then other information. And I always, if you want to be on my birthday list or happy mail list, I do both, then just let me know. You can even Facebook me if you want. I'll be more than happy to send you a happy mail card or a birthday card or both. Okay, so this is a birthday card. So I sent out a bunch of birthday cards. I made them every month. I send them to the neighbors, to my friends, to my customers, to my team members. So I just love doing it. You're making cards, we might as well send them out, right? Okay, so I'm taking my Blushing Bride marker, and I'm going to color in the heart of this treble clef. I think that's what this thing is called. And that, I don't like the way that tip is working, so we're going to go, no, you know what? Let me finish it off. I think it'll be fine. So let's just put him on here. So it's a little bit different using this than it is the Stampin' Blends, isn't it? All right, so there's our heart on that one. We did that in Blushing Bride. All right, and then the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to pop this little bad boy up on some dimensionals, and then we are going to be done. And you all just got to see 2 more cards. And again, if there's anything that you would like me to see, or any kind of a card that you'd like me to make, or a stamp set you want me to use, if I have it, I'll be more than happy to accommodate you if I can. So let me know. All right, so we're just going to pull the backings off of this thing. I always forget to use my take your pick tool on this because it's easier. I just push my thumbnail down and pull it back up. And we'll just put him, and you know, we could always embellish that too, but I think we'll leave it. I think I'm going to put him right there, so that way it's barely on the edge of the card. All right, so that's that, and then all we have to do now is attach this to the front of our card base, and we are done for the evening. And then you all get to go watch somebody else, or eat dinner, make some cards, whatever it is that you want to do. All right, so let's attach this to the front of our Whisper White, and then I'll put an sentiment on the inside. I normally don't do that on my cards until I have find who I'm sending it to, and then I'll write something on there. All right, there's our card that we made using the music from the heart. What do you all think about that? Isn't that pretty? Oh, let me turn it down. I always try to do it the wrong way. Isn't that a gorgeous card? I love it. All right, everyone. These are the cards that we made this evening. Let me pull the other one out. The I was going to get ready to say Good Morning America. Good Morning Magnolia, which looks like a book, and I really like that idea. We may have to look at doing something different with this. Good Morning Magnolia, our book bind, if you will, and then from Music from the Heart. So those are 2 stamp sets. This one's carrying over. This one is not. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining me this Tuesday evening. I really, really do appreciate it. And thank you for your comments, and thank you for sharing. And make sure you share the love. I would greatly appreciate it. And your name will go in a drawing. All right, ladies, thank you again so much. And if I can help you with anything, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank y'all.